Washington Middle School. We would like to thank our parents and our guests for coming. At this time, I would like to invite two of our 8th graders and our leaders to come to the stage. Kayla.
Before we continue our program, I would like to ask you guys to join me for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
Good afternoon, everybody from the Washington family. How are you? My name is Mr. Gale. I'm the principal at Washington Middle School. And I want to welcome you to our class of 2019 that will be moving on and moving up to their high school years. Let's first give a round of applause for this accomplishment. Before I give a few words out, I'd like to just say a few things if you don't mind. It's a powerful thing that when we have here today our students accomplishing this milestone in their life. I say that because you can't take it for granted all these milestones you'll be a part of. So when they reach 8th grade, it's a big deal. It's a big deal because in 4 more years, we'll be doing the same thing when they get ready for high school, as I did with my son this past weekend. It's also a big deal because for students, you are able to have your family show out for you and show support for you for doing good things. That's what this is about. It is about your family. And I want to say a few things about family because it relates to both us as Washington, but also you and your personal families. There's a lot of similarities between our family at Washington and your family here in the audience today. Number one, your family is a place of support. Your family is a place where you can be you, you are supported for being you are loved for being you, and you can become what you're about to be in that structure of the family. It's the same thing in the middle school. You've come through 3 years and you're becoming who you are supposed to be, and that is the best of who you are. That's family. Second of all, family is important because you need to know your history of your family. People will spend a lot of money doing genealogy stories and studies trying to figure out where their family came from. Well, now you're part of the Washington family and you know where you come from. You need to know your history and who you are, just like you need to know your personal family and history and who you are and where your people came from. That's important because when you get further, you can look back and say, I didn't travel this road alone. The third thing about family that I'll tell you is that you have an unwritten rule that you're supposed to look out for your brother and your sister. The boys and the girls next to you are your brothers and your sisters. I came from a family that had a brother and a sister. It was my job to look after them. It was their job to look after me. And when you get to high school, I want you to remember that you are supposed to look out for your Washington family. Regardless of what school you went to, or going to forward, you know what school you came from, and that is part of our Washington family. In your personal family, you look out for each other. You show respect to each other, and you look out for your youngest and your brothers and your siblings. That's who we are. The last thing I will say is that there's no greater joy than making your family proud. And that's the reason why I'm standing here today, is because you have made me proud. I've been with this Washington family only 1 year, but it doesn't matter if I'm here 1 year or 100 years, you're still a part of the family. And you will always be a part of the family. Next year, we celebrate 100 years as a school. And if you don't mind me asking, for those who ever attended Washington Middle School outside of the students, would you please stand if you attended Washington Middle School in the past? Family too. I met a young lady right before I got in here, and she told me she was a wildcat. Several years ago, she told me some stories. Some pretty interesting stories. I said, well, you need to tell everything what you did in your middle school. But they're very good memories of being a wildcat and being a part of Washington. And now you're a part of Washington experience, you're part of our history, and we want to celebrate that with you. There's a few awards I'd like to note here for you that I'll have the students stand when I say your name, and I'll give you a description of the award. The first one is the Kenosha Kiwanis Club Music and Academic Awards. These awards were given for students for their academic and music achievements. We have previously recognized them, but I'll have them please stand. For the Kiwanis Awards for the academic achievement, can I please have Naomi? The next group is the Kiwanis one is Music Awards. There's 3 categories. The first for band is named. At this time, we'd also like to recognize the students who are the academic top 10% of their 8th grade class by their cumulative GPA. Would these students please stand and remain standing while I read your name and we'll clap at the end. Students are, here at Washington Middle School, we demonstrate excellence in many ways. Our students, artists, have flourished under the guidance of our teacher, Mrs. Yu, and I'd like to award these award-winning 8th grade artists to stand by as I stand up as I read your names. The Helen Mears Art Award goes to the Kenosha Public Museum Curator's Art Award goes to Alexandria Serrani. The KUSD 2D Art Award move your arm for your awards. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gale. Congratulations to our outstanding scholars, musicians, and artists. You are very deserving of that high praise. And now we will present
education, patriotism, and honoring the patriots of the Revolutionary War. Members are women who come from very diverse backgrounds, whose common bond is their lineal descent from the patriots of the American Revolution. Each year, the organization recognizes an outstanding 8th grade student at each of the Kenosha middle schools with the Good Citizenship Award. The 8th grade staff is asked to select a student who embodies the characteristics of honor, service, courage, leadership, and patriotism. Teachers submitted names of students as nominees, and then a final vote was held to determine the recipient of this year's award. The student receiving this year's award will receive a medal, a certificate, and a monetary value. Congratulations. Congratulations to all deserving recipient of the DAR Award. We'll miss your leadership here at Washington next year and wish you all the best in high school. We will now present the David Lee Award. This award is given to the top 2 outstanding 8th grade scholar athletes. Mr. Griffin, one of our physical education teachers, will present this award. Mr. Griffin?
The Captain David Lee Memorial Award is presented annually at Washington Middle School to the outstanding boy and girl athlete and scholar in the 8th grade. The criteria for winning the award is as follows. You must be a 2-sport athlete, you must be a good citizen, and you must maintain a B average scholastically. The Captain Lee Award was first presented in 1973 by former Washington faculty member Scott Lindgren. Mr. Lindgren wanted to honor his longtime friend by establishing an award which would honor the memory of his junior high and high school friend who made the supreme sacrifice for his country during the Vietnam War and is still officially listed as missing in action. While a student at Washington Junior High and Bradford Senior High, David Lee was an athlete and scholar. Captain David Lee lives in memories of those students who have been recipients of this prestigious award. We'll go ladies first. The first recipient of the David Lee Award for the female is and the David Lee Award to the male athlete and scholar goes to are our two David Lee Scholar Athlete Award winners.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. And congratulations, Christopher and Kayla. This year, we're inviting two students to give the farewell address to the class of 2019, one from each teaching team. And at this time, since Kayla's here already, I'm going to ask Kayla to come to the podium and say a few words on behalf of her classmates. Kayla?
Good afternoon, Washington staff, students, families, and friends. Before I begin my speech, I would like to thank the school staff and all the sacrifices that they have made for us. I would also like to thank our assistant principal, Dr. Cassandra Brooks, and Mr. Shane Gill. Mr. Gill, you stepped in when it was needed and you made sure we had a great learning environment. So thank you for stepping up to the plate and being Washington's role model. It takes a lot to run a school. We truly appreciate your dedication to our school. Finally, thank you to everyone who has supported and believed in class of 2019. To the ones who don't know me, my name is Kayla Mitchell. My entire middle school career, I have attended Washington Middle School. When I first think of Washington, the first word I think of is family. Washington staff don't only teach you one specific subject, they prepare you for life. They challenge you and push you to bring out the potential that they see in you. Washington staff prepares you for the next level, so thank you. Another group that I would like to acknowledge is the parents of Washington students. Our parents don't get acknowledged and thanked enough for all the sacrifices and things that they do for us, but we really do appreciate you. You have raised us and pushed us to get here today. Thank you for believing in us. I know a lot of parents have to make a lot of sacrifices and hard decisions and work very hard just to make sure we have the best opportunities in life. I love you, Mom. I couldn't have did this without you. I cannot express this enough. Thank you so much for all the families here today. One of my biggest years at Washington was my 7th grade year. My 7th grade teachers had the biggest impact on me. They not only taught me life skills, but they believed in me and helped me be prepared for the next level. Mr. Evans and all the other 7th grade staff, thank you for showing me kindness and care. Last, but certainly not least, I would like to acknowledge all the 8th grade graduates here today. We have been twisted and turned inside out, but we still managed to get on the stage and walk across it. When I look out into the crowd, I see leaders and role models everywhere. When we leave here today, we will officially be 9th graders, promoted to the next level. When you guys leave out that door today, I want you to remember, no matter what, keep going. Keep striving for excellence. We've come too far to give up now. Now that our days at Washington Middle School are slowly coming to an end, I would like to say to the class of 2019, thank you for never giving up. We are the future and next generation. We are going to do big and great things in the future. Remember, success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. Winston S. Churchill, thank you.
Excellent job. I now call on Sam to come to the podium and share his thoughts about his experiences in Washington.
Before I start my speech, thank you for attending our 8th grade ceremony. It's never easy to see us mature by the day, so thank you for being by our sides. To the teachers, we are sorry for making you frustrated, irritated, and furious at us. Mr. Gale, I would like to thank you for coming in and being our principal and having such a vision of positivity for Washington Middle School. out of the family. That inspires me every day, so I can be the first one too. You being the first one going to college inspired me by focusing more so I can also motivate others. You showed me school is the key. I'd like to say thank you to everyone for making Washington Middle School the best academic journey. Finally, thank you to everyone who encouraged us every day, because you made a college round of a career-bound class, the class of 2019. To the parents and staff that do not know me, my name is Samuel Bernal. I've attended Washington Middle School for my entire middle school career. I would like to acknowledge someone who has taught me great sacrifice and perseverance. That person is Mr. Griffin, one of the physical education teachers. He has shared many stories with me, but this story stood out. His friend come back to look for a river.
It's all right, Sam.
They never found the river. When his friends hated it, the next day they went on and climbed the mountain, and the river was on the other side. His friends had a choice to give up. Sometimes he worked so hard that Jim was right in front of me. Mr. Griffin, you're a person I can trust. All your year, you showed me that sacrifice sometimes has to happen for the better. You showed me to persevere through problems, because that can only make you a better man. Mr. Griffin, you have not only inspired me, but you have inspired us. You talked to mostly all of us and inspired most of us to mature and follow your goals. You've been with us for 3 years, and every year you have been with us every step of the way, seeing us mature, and we appreciate you for inspiring us. You have really changed my life, telling me your stories about your camping trips motivates me to face adversity. Because it doesn't matter the weather, the mosquitoes, nothing is going to stop you from achieving what you want, even if you make a mistake. I hope you inspire more people, because you have truly changed my life throughout my Washington Middle School career, and also others. Thank you for everything. I'd like to acknowledge my teachers. I thank my teachers for pushing me throughout the year, and if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be who I am today. All have changed me as a person this year. I first want to start off with Ms. Becker. I truly thank you for just always being positive. This year was great. You made learning so fun. I was below grade level in the beginning of the year for reading, and now I'm at grade level. Thank you. You had a big effect on my learning. Mr. Gray, I know there has been days where the class wouldn't let you teach, but you kept it cool. Social studies this year was so fun. I learned more this year than any other year. I know teaching 2 classes is hard, but it has to be hard. But you persevere with us. Thank you. Ms. Malian, we all appreciate you for coming in as our math teacher. You have made math fun, but difficult. You have showed me that learning is easy if you listen. I feel like you were really there for me, because you made it so difficult just so I can get better. Thank you for pushing me throughout the year. I would like to acknowledge my family. Throughout our lives, we fight with our parents and siblings. Yeah, our parents can annoy us, but they all have made sacrifices. Sacrifices that they don't want us to make. Our parents wake us up for us to go to college or have a career. My mom is the nicest and hardest worker I know. I appreciate my mom a lot. She is the strongest person I know. I appreciate my mom for being by my side. She's the one who's motivating me to work harder and harder every day. Ahorita la jugada for Cinco de Mayo. It was a cool and amazing work experience, but I realized that I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. Taking out the trash and having the garbage all fall on top of me, I said the quickest way out of working like this is school. Our education is the key. We hate school, we hate failing, but how are we supposed to learn if failing is a part of the process? School is the key that can unlock life-changing opportunities. For the class of 2019, let's go chase our dreams. Thank you all. To all my fellow high schoolers, we will shock the world because we are different. We all are going to do something different in life, and we will all be successful. Thank you.
All right. Today, we are honoring those students who have performed in some outstanding way throughout the school year. Aside from the award awards already presented, certificates will be awarded to students in the following categories. Certificate of completion. All students moving on to high school will receive this certificate of completion, signifying they are moving on to 9th grade. Honor Roll. This recognition is given to those students who have maintained a position on the honor roll with a 3.5 or higher GPA through the first 3 quarters. Perfect Attendance Award. This award recognizes those dedicated students who have not missed any school days this year. At this time, I will ask Mr. Gale, Dr. Brooks, and Mr. Hanson to present the 8th grade scholars with their certificates.
Now that we're halfway through and I get the other half, let's go. Or I could just say what Mr. Gale said, what Kayla said, what Sam said, and just say ditto. And let you 8th graders be freshmen already. Yeah? No, I know you want me to talk. Good afternoon. Let me begin by welcoming all of you to today's event and thanking Ms. Higgins for that kind introduction. I'd also like to thank Mr. Gale and Dr. Brooks for giving me an opportunity to teach at Washington Middle School. I had an incredibly fantastic journey and made some memorable moments in yet another chapter of my teaching career. I'm very honored, pleased, and deeply appreciative to have been voted upon to speak here today on what I know is a very special day. Thank you, 8th graders. So on a quick side note, as the 8th graders were voting for their teacher speaker, I thought it'd be a fantastic idea to kind of tell them and give them names of some terrific staff members that would give an excellent speech. So basically every single name other than mine, since I am not quite a big speech guy. Well, parents, teachers, as you all can relate, due to their impeccable listening skills and stubbornness, here I stand right now. I just want to say, just like any one of my award-winning social studies lectures that always keep my students awake at all times with no interruptions or sidetracking, I will keep this short and sweet, 2 hours tops. Exactly what Shardy wanted, right? 2 hours? All right. Mighty B, wake up, I see you. I see you. I know you guys want more. The 8th graders love to hear my voice. I always tell them that it's soothing to their souls. It's a special day for the graduates, for their proud parents and grandparents, and for their very relieved teachers. Just wait until these students are graduating college, then their parents will be the relieved ones. As I start, I have to say, I think the best speeches are those that have a great beginning and a memorable end, and not much in between. I will try to make a great speech. Today is one of those great occasions when we get to celebrate our young people, their achievements, their perseverance, and their successes as they grow up. It's one of the times you can take a break and reflect, feeling good as a parent or a mentor, knowing that the kids you care about are doing just fine and they're on the right path. Graduates, you should know that your moms, dads, and grandparents are very proud of you today. They have high hopes for you, and they believe in you. You are making them proud by showing what you can do. Take a look at them now, and you can see them smiling and snapping photos so they can record this moment forever. Today is an important day for you and for them. Today, they are very, very proud of you. Today would be a good day to ask for money. Today would also be a good day to hug them and thank them for supporting you. Because as much as this is your achievement, this is also the achievement of the people who care about you. That means your mom, your dad, your stepmom or stepdad, your grandparents, your sisters and brothers, and all other people who care about you. They want you to be your best and to live up to your potential. Graduations can be seen as a coming of age, a sort of official way to recognize when a person steps into the next stage of life. And graduates, you are stepping into a new stage. With every year, and although some of you have your moments, you have become a little bit more independent. I bet you can still remember the first day here. It may have been exciting and a little intimidating too. I bet when you look at the 6th graders going to class, you think, wow, they look so little. I can't believe I was ever that young. Get used to it. You'll be thinking that the rest of your life. But when you're seeing younger students, you can tell how much you've grown up, how much you've learned, and how much you've matured. And I say that confidently with no eye roll emojis. Think back on some of the exciting things that happened this year. All the things you learned. This year you went through change with teachers. Saw an incredible talent show performance starring yours truly. Had a few socials, went to DC, and just recently the 8th grade dance. I know I missed a few others like the school projects, presentations, the interesting names for all our Kahoot reviews. You had such great times this year, and maybe you had tough times too, but you did it. You succeeded. You're ready for that next step. I ask as you prepare for this next step to do a few things. First, stop texting your friend about how much you wish Mr. B would hurry up and finish talking so you could go Snapchat or take selfies somewhere. Secondly, I ask to take this chance to dedicate yourself to making the next year even better. Remember that you don't have to follow the crowd. Please let me repeat. You do not have to follow the crowd. Be your own person. Be you. Do the right thing, even if no one is looking. Study hard, and remember that you're investing in yourself with every test you take and every book you read. And finally, don't be in too big of a hurry to grow up. These are some of the great times in your life. Don't rush past them. Finally, as I began my first full year of teaching middle school, I didn't know quite what to expect, especially transitioning from 2nd grade to 8th. Although I noticed some similarities, like the whining, and always wanting to eat, snack, and nap, I was told building relationships would help my transition. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking right now because of you and those relationships. Building relationships are important as you all move on with life. They build strong bonds and really help you grow as individuals. Through these bonds, I learned a few things along the way. For example, 8th graders have their own language. Right now, I am currently drinking the tea. Am I right? Sorry. Spilling the tea. I'll get it one of these days. I learned that I'm everyone's bro, and that's super exciting. Oh, and my personal favorite of the year. I learned, not only did I learn it, but I learned a no look, I learned the behind the back, and I learned many different ways to catch the whoa. Did I do it right? Did I say it right? All right, moving on. One and done, one and done. There are great things coming. And just as your parents are proud, each one of you should feel proud of yourself. So congratulations to all of the graduates, congratulations to the parents, and finally congratulations to the teachers and everyone else who helped our graduates reach here today. I'll leave you with this final quote, and those of you that are on my side, day number 179. That's my quote that was going to be on the board. I forgot I lost my place. This quote from a great author with whom I imagine you are all familiar by the name of Dr. Seuss. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know. You are the girl or guy who will decide where to go. Congratulations again, and thank you for your attention. Period.
hope you will enjoy this year's presentation, Washington Wildcats, the best of who we are.